If you're running pretty much anything on AWS, you are generating a mountain of logs. But here's the real question. Is that data a goldmine of insight, or is it just a noisy, useless distraction? Today, we're going to lay out the architectural blueprint for a centralized logging system that can turn all that chaos into absolute clarity. Let's dive in.
Picture this. It's 3 in the morning. An alarm just shatters the silence. A critical system is down. Support tickets are flying in from angry customers, and every single second of downtime is costing you real money. Your first move? Check the logs. But where? Where do you even begin to look?
So you're scrambling, right? You're jumping between consoles. Is it a Lambda timeout? You check CloudWatch for that. Or maybe it's a failing container over an ECS. You dive into those logs. Or what if it's some rogue process on an EC2 instance? Every service has its own logs, its own format, and you are just burning precious time trying to find one single thread to pull on.
Look, that midnight panic? That's not just bad luck. It is the direct result of having a messy, disorganized logging strategy. When your logs are stuck in silos, troubleshooting isn't just a nightmare, it's a direct hit to your bottom line. It means longer outages, and let's be honest, really frustrated engineers and customers.
So, to build a system that actually works, we first have to understand the default state of things. Let's follow the typical journey of a log in AWS and see exactly where things start to go wrong.
Out of the box, pretty much every AWS service you can think of, from your Lambda functions to ECS containers to your EC2 instances, they all funnel their logs into one central place, Amazon CloudWatch logs.
And don't get me wrong, CloudWatch is fantastic for just collecting logs. It's a reliable workhorse. But for deep analysis, for fast troubleshooting, it's just the starting point. Think of it like a receiving dock for a warehouse. It gets all the packages in one place, but it's not the library where you actually go to do your research. And that brings us to the solution, a purpose-built architecture for centralized logging. This is about way more than just collecting data. It's about transforming that data into a searchable, actionable resource that actually helps you. And this right here, this is the payoff. The difference is just night and day. We go from slow, painful diagnosis to rapid root cause analysis, from a bunch of disconnected events to a single, unified view of every transaction. And maybe most importantly, we transform those panicked, high-stress engineers into calm, effective problem solvers.
So the core idea is actually pretty simple. We take all our logs from CloudWatch and we ship them into a powerful, centralized analytics system. Now, this could be something like Amazon OpenSearch, or it could be one of the many specialized third-party platforms out there.
But wait, just dumping all your logs into one giant bucket isn't enough. That's not the whole story. We need a way to connect all the dots, to create a clear narrative from all that noise. And that brings us to what is, without a doubt, the most critical piece of this entire system. Meet the magic key to all of this, the correlation ID. It's basically a unique tracking number. You generate it at the very beginning of a request, let's say when a user clicks a button on your website. And then you pass that exact same ID along to every single microservice that request touches on its journey through your system.
I love this quote because it just nails it. A single log entry? That's just a clue. But with a correlation ID, you have the entire case file right in front of you. You can see the full chain of events, from start to finish.
So think back to that 3 a.m. alarm. With a correlation ID, you can find just one failed request and instantly filter your entire logging platform to show you only the logs from every single service that was involved with that specific failure. The root cause becomes obvious in seconds, not hours. It's a total game changer.
Okay, so now that we have the blueprint for what we should do, it's just as important to know what not to do. Let's cover 5 common anti-patterns. These are the classic mistakes that can completely wreck your logging strategy. Seriously, avoiding these pitfalls is crucial. They are the difference between a logging system that gives you clarity and one that just creates more noise and confusion. Let's see if any of these sound a little familiar. All right, first up, unstructured logs. Just logging plain text strings is a nightmare to query and filter. You have to use a structured format like JSON to make your logs machine readable. Second, forgetting correlation IDs. We just talked about how critical these are. Without them, tracing a request is just pure, painful guesswork. Third, keeping logs in their service silos. This is the original sin of logging, right? It guarantees a slow, miserable investigation every single time. Fourth, having vague or non-existent schemas. If one service logs user ID and another one logs user_ID, you can't search across them effectively. Consistency is absolutely king here. And finally,
poor retention policies. You need a real plan that balances the cost of storing logs with the need to investigate past incidents.
So here's the bottom line, the key takeaway from all of this. Great logging and true observability, they don't just happen by accident. You can't just bolt them on at the end. They have to be a fundamental part of your architectural design, right from the very beginning.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about for your own systems. When that 3 a.m. alarm finally goes off, and it will, are you going to be frantically flipping through the pages of a messy, disorganized diary, or are you going to be opening up a searchable, cross-referenced encyclopedia that gives you the exact answer you need right when you need it most?